The following program contains views that are not those of WVTC, iNetworks Communications, their subsidiaries, affiliates, or financial supporters.
Hi, I'm Sandy Rose.
Hi, I'm Reverend Franklin D. Morris Jr.
Hi, I'm Pastor William Q. James, and we're the owners of WVTC Gospel Radio Network.
And I am Ramon Perry, president of WVTC.
Well, with your votes and prayers, WVTC Gospel Radio Network made it to round 2 of the Stellar Gospel Music Awards in the category of Internet Radio Station of the Year. And one last time, we need your vote.
So we need you to go to www.thestellarawards.com and click on the 2023 Radio Station Award ballot.
Once you're on the ballot, look for the category Internet Radio Station of the Year and cast your vote for WVTC Gospel Radio Network, Ramon Perry, president.
Voting is limited to 2 per household, and voting closes on Monday, May 1st.
We thank you for voting for WVTC Gospel Radio Network, and we ask that God's continued blessings upon you and your entire family. Remember, we're WVTC Gospel Radio Network, where
we're winning victory through Christ.
Well, all right, we are here.
Good evening. We're here. Good evening. How y'all doing? If you
I
can
was
see
waiting
us,
for I was waiting for your intro when you come in, the hardest working brother on this side of heaven. I was waiting.
Yeah, he came. He came in like woo yow. So I mean, hey, well, we here, y'all. Good evening. You're here. I'm here. Nash is here. Miss D's Kitchen is here. So with that all being said, you all bless the Lord. We here once again with the Good News with Elder Miller, co-host Dorian H. Nash, and we got our special guest in the house, Miss D's Kitchen. We are here. So y'all know how we started off, y'all, with the famous scripture. Luke 14, verse 23 says, "And the Lord said unto the servants, go out into the hedgeways and the byways, that the house of the Lord may be filled." You all praise the Lord, praise the Lord, praise the Lord. We got a lot to talk about today.
Yes,
we got a lot of good topics to talk about. Also, I say it ain't segment, say it ain't so segment is on fire, you all. We got some stuff to talk about. We like y'all know, we here to hope you, not to help you. And we also, I'm gonna have Miss D's to tap in today. I was involved in the 500 men march on Saturday in reference to our youth 2 weeks ago going downtown and causing that mayhem. So we all the brothers came together. Shout out to Pastor what's the pastor's name? Oh my God, Charlie Dakes, who put that together. Pastor Hannah showed up. I think Pastor Meeks was there. Pastor Ray Beatty. It was several pastors that was there that was representing for the churches, and the brothers came out strong too, you all. And it was a very good time in the Lord. So we're going to talk about that a little bit today. Also, I got Miss D's Kitchen in the house, because you all, this woman of God, she loves to give back, and she did none other a couple of weeks ago. Me and her partnered up. She partnered up with our brother Gerald with the J. I'm Gerald with the G. And Miss D's Kitchen partnered up, and we went down Pacific Gardens with our special help from our Casey, helped us out. You all, we want to shout out, because that's a young lady that's still in high school, but she loved to give back. She was there.
Come on now.
Money giving back. Just a host of people that came out and helped us feed you all, to help us feed our brothers and sisters. I don't like to use the word homeless, simply because that's our brothers and sisters, right? And the Bible talks about loving, so we're supposed to love on them.
You know what we can say? You know what we can say, Pastor G? We can say temporarily unhoused.
Okay, all right.
I like that.
I like that. I probably won't be able to remember it, so you bring that up. You know, hey, I'm just keeping it real.
Temporarily unhoused. That's
right,
all.
right. But so we went out and we cooked for them, you all. We did have we got an insert. Hopefully we can get that to you guys. Our engineer is working on it now. We'll get that to you guys a little later on in the show. But we have a lot to talk about today, you all. And I just want to tell you all, I am so grateful to be here before you all once again on another Monday. I don't take it for granted. Also, we want to also shout out you all. Please, please, please wish my cousin Reverend Morris a happy birthday today. Hallelujah.
Yay, happy birthday.
Yeah, he's 54 years young. We thank God for him, because without his vision, there would be no us. So we're grateful for that. We don't want to take for granted for the things that God has done in his life. You all, and also, I think you all saw it at the beginning. We need you all to continue to go out there and vote for us. You can vote all the way until May 1st. So we need you all to continue to vote for us. I wore my shirt today, you all.
Oh, look at you showing up and showing out.
We can't see it right now. The engineer is playing with the screen. It's also really nice, and it's got the 2023 Stellar Award on my back. You can't see it right now. I can't even see it, but anyway, that's what's going on. So, and with that being said, I'm gonna alley-oop it over to my co-host Dorian H. Nash. Take the alley-oop. Whoop, whoop.
All right. Well, listen, first of all, I too am so glad to be here with you, Pastor G, even though I'm not there in the studio. I'm here in my home office tonight. I gotta be here this evening, but nonetheless can be there with you. Modern technology is amazing that I can still be there on the show with you guys tonight. So super, super excited to have this conversation with Miss Dees. I asked her before the show started. I said, hey, did you bring anything tonight? Right. And I said, you know what, good, because I'm not there. So, but I know that if you had the opportunity, you definitely would have. So just appreciate your heart as always. And, it just means you got to come back another time, and we'll be able to share in some delectables that you do. So listen, I want to jump right in it. There's so much, like you said, Pastor G, that we got to talk about. I'm going to start with something that kind of easy. Did anybody see the fight over the weekend with, what was it? Gentavia Davis and Ryan Garcia? Did you guys watch the fight?
You know what? I watched the fight with my eyelids, literally. And the reason I say that, because Saturday we did the walk, and my sister wanted us to come over because my cousin is in town from Florida.
Sure.
And I didn't know we was actually going to walk from Roosevelt to Wacker. And we walked from Roosevelt to Wacker, and we forgot we had to walk back to the car. So, and I told myself, because there was an 80-year-old gentleman that was with Kara's brother, and we saw him walking. We was like, he ain't gonna outdo us, because we was ready to get an Uber. Let me tell you.
Wow. Yeah.
And my feet, I went to the house and I was planning on going, but it didn't work out. So anyway, no, I didn't see the fight. So maybe you can enlighten us.
I mentioned it for a couple of reasons. First of all, I have not been to one in a very long time, so it was really cool just hanging out and all of that. But what struck me, two things that struck me. Usually you have a couple of fights before the main event, right? Okay. And so there was a fighter. I think the last name was Montel, and the other was Yamaguchi, and they were the fight right before the main event. Okay. Yamaguchi is 35, and Montel was 25. Okay. And Yamaguchi said, yeah, because everybody was concerned about the age difference, if he'd be able to hang with such a younger man, right? Right. And he said, no, I'm a fresh 35. I got him, this fine. And stat-wise, they were, from what I could tell, basically even, right? Okay. But let me tell you, when Yamaguchi got in that ring, he wasn't fresh. He lasted 40 seconds, if that.
What?
And you know how you get knocked out and you get right back up, but it's too late? He was out.
And he got paid what? To lay down. Because they could have paid me that, and I would have lasted at least a minute. Because I'd have put the dance on him at least.
He didn't last a minute. As soon as he got in that ring, he got knocked out, and he was out for a minute.
No, that ain't cool.
So I'm thinking to myself, and I'm trying to bring it back to something spiritual, in the sense that first I'm questioning, how did you prepare? Because they kept saying he didn't have enough time to prepare for this fight.
Okay.
Right. And
so they just threw him in the ring, basically, like they could have done me.
Well, right. You and I could have fought Montel and still might have lasted longer than the 40 seconds. But there's that about preparation and knowing your limits, right? But the other thing, when I think about the main event between Davis and Garcia, Garcia was taller than Davis. I don't know if he's younger than him. I'm not sure, but he definitely had a much longer reach, and he's taller than him. It was almost like David and Goliath.
David and Goliath.
Now Garcia is not super big, but he was taller, and he had a longer reach. But I tell you, that guy, that young man Davis, he got in there, he knocked him out in the second round, and then now you probably are more familiar with this, Pastor G, because in the seventh round, Davis hit him, I guess, in his solar plexus.
Oh, yeah, gave him a body blow. He hit him in the kidneys.
And so it didn't seem to register immediately. Right. But about 5 seconds later, he hit his knee. He could not get back up.
Yeah, no. He gave him a kidney shot. That's what I be giving out, them kidney shots. You know what
I'm
saying?
I'm not familiar. So if you get hit in your kidneys, it can knock you down like that?
Oh, yeah. Heck, that's what Tyson, why do you think Tyson used to not? Man, Tyson used to hit people with them body blows, and then when you buckle, he hits you with that uppercut. It's a wrap. That if you get hit in them kidneys, baby, you know, man, it does something to you. It make you jiggle jang. Yeah.
Well, he couldn't get back up. He was
no. Once you get that kidney blow, it's a wrap. Yeah, that's why you got to protect them kidneys at all. You got to protect them kidneys from
he did not protect
all costs. You know what I'm saying?
But it didn't. Even in the slow mo, I couldn't quite tell exactly where he hit him, but he got him.
Yeah, and the kid hit him in the kidneys. Yeah, and they say he folded up like a $2 dollar. $2 holler.
He made him holler. Yeah, he did. But again, I say all that. I mentioned that because, you know, in life, and similar to what you guys are doing, people, you know, you can get what they say caught unawares, right?
Yeah.
And that happens in life every day for us. So like you guys were able to go out there, and I'm sorry I couldn't join you over the weekend, but you were able to go out there, and I'm sure there are some people that, you know, if not most people, they would never thought they'd be in that situation. They were in, but they got caught unawares by something, because most of us are a paycheck or two away from being unhoused. Right. And most people are like, well, I'm never going to be in that situation. And then they find themselves in that situation not knowing how to get out of it. And it's no easy task to do.
No, it's not.
And so what was, you know, and I'll speak to, you know, Miss Dees in particular, what is it for that just really stood out to you over this weekend?
Okay, I was looking at
she saw. Hold on, sis. She let her regroup herself because we got the video up. She was looking because she hadn't seen it. Go ahead.
Okay.
She comes. She good. You ready?
Yeah, ready. Now, ask that question again.
Ask it again, can you, sis?
No problem. So, you know, there was so much that happened, you know, over the weekend in the ways that church folk were able to go out and serve. What stood out to you the most in that interaction?
How everyone just came out. You know what I'm saying? They came, they ate.
Right, we fed the multitudes. It was like,
I enjoyed it. I enjoyed every moment of it.
You know what? Let's do this. Let's rewind a little bit. I want to go back to what you had said. So you just said something very important. How you talked about how things catch people off guard and they don't think that they'll find themselves in that situation. I taught Sunday school just this past Sunday, and we were talking about the hope of God, right? And it also in the bottom of and talking about that when I taught Sunday school, we were talking about how God. It talks about how we don't know the day, nor the hour, nor the time of when Jesus is going to return, right? Because we're talking about that hope that we have to live for. And my final question to everybody, once we were talking and I was breaking it down, it talked about how God is going to come like a thief in the night. He's going to come in a twinkling of an hour. You know what I'm saying? So we're not going to know. So my major question to everybody is, are you ready? Right? Because so many people think that they have time, and we're definitely living in the last days. So my question for everybody was, are we ready? Are we really ready? Because you got so many people that'll say, oh man, I'll go to church next week, or I'll do this next week, or I'll do that next week. What if God was to crack the sky open in the next 15 minutes? Are you going to be ready? Are you going to be, you know what I'm saying? Preferably, we'll all hear, well, good, done job, my good and faithful servant. Or are you going to hear those words, get thee behind me, I never knew you. So this thing is serious. And the reason I'm bringing that up and I'm saying this is because the enemy comes to kill, steal, and destroy. And it's the trick of the enemy to keep us away from the word of God and to live as we're supposed to live. And we think that we have the time that we don't have, right?
Yeah, come on.
That was one of my major questions to someone. So fast forwarding to where we went out a couple of Saturdays ago, sis. Miss D came out to show you how the enemy works. We came out, we were actually supposed to go to 123rd and Parnell. We were supposed to feed 65 men from the ages of 18 to 100, right? So Gerald with the J used to work at this facility, but he got a better paying job, right? With days off, just a better position, period, right? But he had the men and it's still in his heart that he wanted to be a blessing to them because they would just feed them cereal for breakfast, right? Every morning. That's what they got for breakfast, right? Cereal. So Gerald was like, you know what? I'm going to feed these brothers a hot meal. He called me up. He said, Gerald, would you partner with me? I want to go feed 65 men. I said, oh, absolutely. I called D because D told me anytime that we go out to do anything with feeding, because she's gone out with us before. Right. We went on Roosevelt and we blessed 35 people or so. Yeah. And so she was like, oh, yeah, absolutely. So check it out. Show you how the enemy works. We get out there, sis. We set up. You hear me? We set up. I set my griddle. I set everything up. We set everything on the tables, the whole 9 yards. And the director calls and goes, you guys need to leave. What? They shut us down simply because she was mad at Gerald. Right?
Why?
And he left with a 2 weeks notice. Mind you, he did everything in decent and order, but she still had a problem with him. And so she wouldn't allow us. Gerald even told her, look, the men don't even have to come outside. Let us cook for them and let us because we even had to go cartons. We were like, let us cook for them and they can take it, you know what I'm saying? And the security can come out and take it into them. She said, no, you guys need to leave my facility. Wow. So we got put out, basically, right? So then everybody was a little discouraged. And I looked at D, she looked at me, I looked at Gerald. I said, you know what? Let's hit Pacific Gardens. And man, when I tell you, we wound up at Pacific Gardens. When I tell you that I know things are rough, I've been going down there now I think we've been going out for about 15 years or better. Yeah. And this is the first time I've ever gone out and saw full Mexican families, kids, right? Orientals. Am I telling you? Yes. Spanish people. All walks of life. I'm going to just say all walks of life were out there that we fed. And I say that to say this is because of what you just said. We never know what situation that we're going to be dealt. We got to be ready, right? Yeah. And with that being said, I'm going to let D talk a little bit more about that experience because this woman of God, she has a big heart. She's short in stature, but she got a big heart. And I'm telling you all, she cooked like ain't no tomorrow. We got a clip of it. We'll get a little bit into that around 7:25ish because we want to carry that into our when we talk a little bit about that, we want to carry that into our Say It Ain't So segment, right? Okay. So go ahead, D.
Well, I want to say I was once homeless. I was, and I think I stayed. I don't know if it was the Pacific Garden. This was a long time ago. I've been there, so I know what it feels like. You know what I'm saying? And I know that they don't give the proper breakfast. You know what I'm saying? At most homeless shelters.
Right.
You know, and it just felt good to do that. I really looked forward to doing this that day. You know what I'm saying? And we got out there and you can tell everybody was so grateful.
Yes.
Wow.
They were grateful. And it wasn't that you got one plate. You could eat it. We had enough food. I mean, we had more than enough.
Actually, we took some home.
Yes.
Yeah.
A lot of people ate that day.
2 and 3 times. Yeah.
Bacon, sausage, hash browns, scrambled eggs, bananas,
Yeah.
coffee,
donuts, pastries. We had apple juice. We had orange juice. They had the best. We even gave them the best coffee. Everybody say Dunkin' Donuts got the best. They had the Dunkin' Donuts coffee, you all, and we fed over 100 people. So, and I mean, everybody did it with a smile on their face. I don't think nobody got tired, you all, and I mean, it was nobody complained, and they were very grateful. Yeah,
well, what's phenomenal is that it wasn't centered around Thanksgiving or Christmas or some particular event where there's almost an expectation. This was just a random weekend, Saturday. Hey, let's just love up on you, and I'm sure people felt that love and were able to receive it because of the randomness of it. It's not about a particular day and event. It's just really, we want to come and serve you. And not only are we going to serve you, but we're going to give you the best of the best of the best.
Yeah.
And I'm sure that's what, enabled them to have so many smiles on their faces because of that. I saw some of the pictures on Facebook. It was amazing.
Yeah. My wife said, think about this. It was only 6 of us. Yeah, it was only 6 of us. And I'm telling you, we worked that thing like a well-oiled machine.
Like we had it planned out.
It wasn't planned. I mean, everybody just got in where they fit in. And I mean, it was, I'm still talking about it. My wife said, yeah, and it was like, yeah, thank you, baby. I forgot about how many of us was because we got it done. I mean, we just got it done. I mean, everybody got in the section. And I'm telling you all, I want to do something because we always talk about young people and we always talk about when they do bad things, right? But I want to really give her roses now. She probably get mad at me, but I'm gonna love on Casey. She's in the studio with us today. That young lady, she's the one that actually took the coverage, right? But the bottom line is that that's the second time second time she's gone out with us. And this young lady, I'm talking about, we went out on Saturday, you all. She could be doing something else. But she chose to come out and help us feed God's people. A lot of young people are not doing that, you all. I'm sorry. They're too busy TikToking and just doing other Instagram and doing all other type of stuff.
She asked me because she come.
Oh,
she wanted to come.
Yeah, praise God. And Imani. Imani is, matter of fact, Imani say, whenever y'all go out, Elder Miller, I want to go. Yeah. And you know what, though? And that's when we start. When my wife came up, we're going out to take care of our brothers and sisters, right? We used to take our youth down there from New Jay. That's the former church that we used to go to. Yeah. When they used to be complaining about their mama not getting them this or their mama doing that and all that. When we took them down there and they seen people living in boxes, it changed them. I mean, I'm talking about kids living in boxes. They were living. Right. We used to go to Lower Walker Drive. We used to go out to 6200 up on Lawrence and all that type of stuff. And you seeing kids getting woken up out of their tents, coming outside trying to get warm meals and stuff like that because they just don't know where their next meal is coming from. So that changed a lot of their lives, you all. And then right now, till today, a lot of my youth that I used to take down there are doing very well for themselves and they're doing well in their communities. And I believe that God allowed us to be able to show them, you know what I'm saying, that guess what? Because these youth, let's just say it, keep it real. These youth think they're entitled to everything. Right? And man, the ones that really respect what you're doing for them, they come back and give back. And I believe that's what Casey done and young Imani. And you'll see it on the screen too. I mean, they get it in working. And I mean, man, we actually operated like a restaurant. We operated like a restaurant, you all.
Now I wonder, I'm just curious, and the people that were at the initial shelter, did they get wind of it and come down there to Pacific Gardens, do you think?
Well, what happened was, when they come out, I think at 10 o'clock. So we actually got there, about 9:50, I think it was 9:50-ish. And we were set up in 10. My wife was like, give us 10 minutes. And in that 10 minutes, man, me and Miss D loaded up the griddle, man, and got them eyes going. And Gerald got on the eggs. Jeanette, you can see Imani getting the drinks. I mean, Casey, until she was filming, she got the drinks, the pastry. Oh man, teamwork make the dream work. Like I say, everybody was just like boom, boom, boom.
But what I'm saying is, like, the people that got the lady that refused service at the initial place, did the people that were there, did they say, you know what, forget you, and they came on
Oh,
down?
no. They can't come out, sis. They have to stay in. At the facility where we went, they didn't even know. For a lot of the men, they didn't even know we were there because they can't come out. They couldn't come out to even get the bread. We would have had to prepare the food, and it had to be taken into them. A lot of them didn't even know we were in there. They didn't even know we were there. So
when do they get to come out?
Oh, they have times, but they couldn't come out that particular time. They got a time that they can come out. Yeah. And if you don't have a job, from my understanding, they don't come out. They don't have. Let me shut up because I don't know whose facility that is, so I don't want to. You know what I'm saying? I don't want no smoke.
Wanted us to be.
Yeah, exactly.
That's where God
wanted. I just was unfamiliar. I thought that I didn't realize it was on lockdown like that.
Yeah, no, we couldn't. No, they couldn't come out. You know what I'm saying? Because what they did was basically we were there to cook. And give omelets, however they wanted to receive their food. We were there to actually, to satisfy whatever it is that they needed, right?
Short order cook.
There you go. That's the word we're looking for. My wife said first sight was halfway house. Second sight, people were unable to come out and eat. Oh, the people were able to come out. That was the difference. Pacific Riders, they come out at 10 as well.
Okay, got it.
Yeah. So that was the difference. They wasn't able to come out at the first facility.
Got it. Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
And like I say, a few people saw. Only reason a few people saw us setting up is because their rooms was on that side, and they looked out the window and they were like, "Yep." They was like, "Hey, Elder, hey, brother Norwood, and all that." They hanging out the window and man, watched us pack that stuff all back up. Yeah. Wow. Yeah. So I mean. Okay, so it's the 7:25 engineer. Can you play a little bit of that for us, please? You finna see a little bit of it now, Nash.
Okay.
So okay, well, I got you. Choose enough. Thank you, God bless you. You're welcome.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. I'm getting hungry. That looks so good.
Man, hey, and I mean, sis, when I tell you, man, they were so grateful and thankful. I mean, it was a Spanish lady and her 3 daughters, and they were just sitting. They didn't know that they could come across the street and eat. I think Gerald went and got them. They came across the street and they were like, "Oh my God!" It was like, for us, because they had just ate cereal.
Right.
And my wife told them, "Hey, look, you all eat as many times as you want. Wow. We're here for you guys." And I mean, when it was one guy, he was making bacon sandwich, he was making egg sandwich. My wife said, "Did he just make that brother was putting all type of stuff together." It was like, man, he was like, "Man, you guys." And then it broke my heart though, you all. We did hear a story. One of the young men was giving his testimony. I think he said he was 25 or something. He was down there telling my wife and Gerald that he started wilding out. And that's how he ended up there. And he said his mom or something would come visit him or whatever like that. But he said he got himself in a situation where he couldn't stay at the house and he ended up at the shelter. And I don't know the whole story, but I was hearing it, bits and pieces of it, because I was trying to make sure the garbage was wet, because you know what I'm saying, I don't want to make it to where they can't say we can't come back down. You know what I'm saying?
Right, exactly.
We were all just moving, right? So, but I was hearing him tell my wife and Gerald and Imani and Jeanette actually about how he ended up down there. Hey, family, how you doing, Cheryl? Hey, Tanisha, how you doing? I don't know if I spoke to you or not, but hey, AKA assistant. But
there was earlier there was a Reynard. We want to give a shout out to
Reynard, your husband. I'm sorry, Reynard. Yeah. One of our biggest supporters as well. Hey, so Reynard, how you doing, brother?
We are at the 7:30 hour. At halfway mark.
Can we take a break, engineer,
we'll
and then we'll come back?
Break. We'll come on the other side. Yep.
Yeah. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Sandy Rose.
Hi, I'm Reverend Franklin D. Morris Jr.
Hi, I'm Pastor William Q. James, and we are the owners of WVTC Gospel Radio Network.
And I am Ramon Perry, president of WVTC.
Well, with your votes and prayers, WVTC Gospel Radio Network made it to round 2 of the Stellar Gospel Music Awards in the category of Internet Radio Station of the Year. And one last time, we need your vote.
So we need you to go to www.thestellarawards.com and click on the 2023 Radio Station Award ballot.
Once you're on the ballot, look for the category Internet Radio Station of the Year and cast your vote for WVTC Gospel Radio Network, Ramon Perry, President.
Voting is limited to 2 per household, and voting closes on Monday, May 1st.
We thank you for voting for WVTC Gospel Radio Network, and we ask that God's continued blessings upon you and your entire family. Remember, we're WVTC Gospel Radio Network, where
we're winning victory through Christ.
There's another person inside of you. A healthy person, a fit person screaming to get out. Time Fitness will help you find that fit person. Time Fitness clients eat to live, not live to eat. 95% of you dream of a flat stomach but have no clue on how to make that happen. Time Fitness is the master of making that stomach disappear. Want to look younger? Time Fitness. Isn't it time you take care of you? Contact us now for a free 2-pound protein powder meal replacement, 2 free guest passes, 1-time free Time Fitness t-shirt. Each client gets personal training guide and workout journal. Time Fitness will help you live a healthy lifestyle and improve your quality of life. www.tymefitness.com 773-458-5084. Living out of town? No problem. Time Fitness can still work with you each month. Ask us how. Time Fitness. www.timefitness.com.
All right, you all. It's that time, you all. It's the Say It Ain't So segment. Sis, I got it pulled up, but did you pull it up, sis?
No, I didn't pull it up.
Okay, I got it. Okay, you all. So in the Say It Ain't So segment, we got a segment, a story that came across my feed in reference to a lady. Her son was killed when he was 20 years old. And then she heard about a 12-year-old. So basically, let me rewind. When her son was killed at 20, she actually would go to the hospital anytime she would hear of any gunshot victims, right? She would go to the hospital to be with the families to kind of love on, give them support.
Right.
And things.
That was her new devotion in terms of just really helping these families.
Right. So she heard of a young lady, 12 years old, being shot, right? So I'm going to read a little bit to you. It says, Janet Rice headed to the hospital Thursday night, as she routinely does when she hears a tragic, right, in her community. It says a barrage of gunfire had injured several young people, including a 12-year-old struck in the head by a stray bullet. While en route, Rice's phone rang and she pulled over. The young girl in Connecticut hospital fighting for her life was her granddaughter, you all. So basically, she was rushing to a family that she didn't even know. Come to find out that it was her 12-year-old granddaughter that was shot in the head. Not to mention, that was her father that was killed at 20.
Right.
So say it ain't so.
She loses her son, and then 12 years later, she loses her granddaughter.
Yeah.
His daughter.
Which is his daughter.
Which was his
daughter. Now that's to say it ain't so.
Well, it just, again, when I think about, and you guys can obviously chime in as well, there's so much debate around, gun control and background checks and all of these things. And it just seems like we can't make any headway to get some of these guns off the street and to be able for people just to be civil to one another. It seems like before you could say anything, people got their guns out and they just shooting. They're not even I mean, we could talk about the young man that got shot when he went to pick up his siblings. He knocks on the wrong doorbell. He gets shot twice in the head. And thank God that he has recovered.
Yeah.
But even, you know, the person that shot him said he feared for his life because he rang his doorbell.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. And well, I mean, not 2 days after that, you had a gentleman that shot at two cheerleaders or something like that. They turned on the wrong road.
Right.
And as they turned around, taking off now.
Right. They didn't even get to his door. They realized that they were at the wrong house. They were turning around. And he still fired. And he still fired. He ended up killing one of the children.
Stuff, you know, and what are the laws saying about that? Because at the end of the day, you know, I got concealed carry as well. And from my understanding, you know, a person, if he's an ultimate, you know, a threat to you, basically, and he comes and, you know, he has to break the threshold, you know, other than that, that's not a threat to you. You know what I'm saying? How is it that somebody turned around, did a U-turn, and, you know, is leaving your property and you still fired? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I think it just speaks to where we are as a society. We are steadily losing our empathy for one another.
Yeah, well, the Bible talks about it. Yeah.
Yeah. And so when you have that and it becomes this mentality of us against them, I think it makes it a lot easier for people just to randomly shoot folk and not really think nothing of it, because unfortunately, not everybody sees people as human beings. They see them as, you know, threats or less than human. And whenever you have that type of mindset, it makes it a lot easier to pull the trigger. And so, yes, you know, we're talking about gun reform, and that's definitely needed. But there's a mental reform, I believe, that is even beyond that is needed to restore empathy for, you know, your brother and sister.
Yeah.
You know, period.
What happened to?
Yeah, go ahead.
He rang the man's doorbell.
Right.
He didn't even say who is it to find out.
No, he lied and said that he did, but he didn't. The young man, thank God he's alive. He said the man didn't ask anything. He said he just started shooting. He said that for him life. He even said that he was pulling on the door. Now, this is where it gets tricky at, because it was recorded on his own ring bell, right? Mm-hmm. And the kid never even touched his door. You know what I'm saying? I'm talking about janked on it. Right. So he got away with that. So they're still investigating on that. So he lied and said that the young man was pulling on his door. He said that he looked to be about 6 feet tall, and so he just started shooting because he feared for his life, right? But upon further review, the young man said he never even said anything. He just rung the bell, and the gentleman started shooting.
Well, the video camera should show it all. I mean, you know what I'm saying? And that's
exactly. Yeah. And then the son came out to say, well, my dad feels bad about what he's done, blah, blah, blah. But yeah, you shot twice though. You know what I'm saying? So
and if he don't,
right.
Yeah.
Well, I you know, here's the other part of that story is the fact that yes, what that man did in shooting that young man was horrible. But then that young man that was shot, and we need to say his name, but he went to 3 neighbors' house before he got help. This young man was shot in the head twice.
Yeah.
Dragged himself to a neighbor's house to 3 different neighbors before one of them said, you know what, I'm gonna get some help for you. The others either just wouldn't open the door. One told him to just lay there and put your hands up.
That was the third one that helped him.
That was the third one that helped.
The third person to help. He told him, only way I'm going to help you if you get on your knees. He had to get on his knees. Now he shot. He had to get on his knees. He had him cross his legs and hold his hands up as he shot. Yeah. That's the thing. Yeah, it wasn't number God. But
the mere fact that he is still alive.
The
mere fact that he is still alive.
Yeah,
it's a miracle unto itself.
Yeah.
So yeah, and the fact that he's, you know, out of the hospital and making a full recovery, but he's forever changed.
Oh man, absolutely.
Physically, he may recover, but he's forever changed. His family's forever changed behind that, you know. And that's what's so sad about it is, this young man was just trying to pick up his siblings.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then you all, it didn't happen again. I'm telling you all, we got to get these teachers some help. We had another incident where another young lady tried to take her phone back from a substitute teacher, which turned out to be another fight. The teacher was walking out the room to go get help because the young lady was cussing her out, right? And she pushed her. So the substitute teacher actually was walking out the class, and while the young lady pushed the door on her.
And I saw that she wasn't even really trying to fight her back.
Yeah, no, she wasn't. She was actually going to get help.
Right.
And then she pushed the door on her. So at that point, she retreated. I mean, like anybody would. She pushed the door on her. So then she came and they locked up and they threw a couple of blows, but it wasn't like the other lady where the other lady threw the girl down and handled her business. But what she should have, though, I mean, that's just, I don't know.
Well, I mean,
it's a lot going on.
Put that as a question to the audience. Do we think our teachers should retaliate and fight these kids? I mean, here's the thing. What I'm seeing is that people are, particularly young people, are so tied to their phones that they lose their minds when there's any threat of them not having it. Mm-hmm. I mean, a visceral response to this. Mm-hmm. And so our teachers, and we want to ask you, our audience, our teachers, should they retaliate if a student puts their hands on them, or should they just, what do you think? That was crazy. No respect for anybody. We agree. But
I'm not finna. Well, sister, your question, I'm not finna stand there and let nobody beat me up. Because first of all, just like Cheryl say, they so disrespectful, it don't make sense. And my thing is, I don't think they need phones, right? Because they said you had all them kids sitting in there recording that, you know what I'm saying? And they talking about, well, if a shooting takes place, my kid needs to be able to call me as a parent to come. Because I had this discussion this week with one of my cousins. He was like, well, I would want for my son to have his phone because I need him to call me, and so that he can come up so that I can go up to the school and take care of it. Well, that's what you got the police for. Because I don't think they should use it. They should have phones, period. It's a distraction. They're not running up in no way.
Renard says if my kid puts their hands on an adult unprovoked, they earn that butt whooping. But see, Renard is from the generation that a teacher
fight you for that.
Exactly. Instead of them letting their child know that they were wrong.
Yeah, exactly. They're not going, and that's what's going on in today's society.
Yeah.
And that's why there's a lot of gunplay because of stuff like that. Just like I told somebody before, I went to Scott Joplin Elementary School on 79th and Honorary. And if we did some out of character from 79th all the way back to 82nd, you got a whooping from whichever parent came out the house, and then they notified your mama or your daddy, and you got a whooping there as well, right? That's when you're talking about community. It ain't nothing happened to none of us. But these days, if you put your hands or you say something wrong, matter of fact, if you say something wrong to one of these kids these days,
well, if you say anything, not even right or wrong, if you say anything,
the parent never asks what happened. They just assume that their child is
right. Yeah.
Seen it firsthand.
Right. Yeah. I've seen it a lot.
So what is a teacher to do? You know what I'm saying? Like, I agree with you, Pastor G. If I'm a teacher and a student is putting their hands on me or attempting to, and actually I had a situation many years ago. I led a teen group. This is even before I joined New Jay. I joined I was leading a teen group, and one of the teens decided, was telling his friends, watch this. I'm about to punk this, this minister, right? Came up behind me in an attempt to try to hit me, right? And I don't know what it was, Holy Spirit, but I turned around, caught that hand, and I flipped him and put him on his back. Now I ain't never done that before or since. Okay.
Right.
But
right.
But I was able to, stop the situation. Nobody tested me because once you get the leader, then you don't have any problems, right?
Yep.
But that could have gone left real quick, right? I'm grateful that it didn't, and it didn't go any further than that. That was just one, kid being stupid and whatever. but it had nothing to do with a phone. That had nothing, because again, these phones are they just take them they're out of control with them. They don't know how to act. They literally are like going through withdrawal.
Well, here's the thing now. You got third and fourth graders taking phones to school. What does a third and a fourth grader need a phone for? You know what I'm saying? And then, like, once again, if you take that phone from the parent is up there immediately, right? And they trying to find out, you know, why you take my daughter phone and why you take my son phone. You know, I can guarantee you, it starts with the grown people, because I drive a rig, right? Mm-hmm. And I can guarantee you, I pass over 95% of the cars that I pass, everybody's on their phone. Everybody, right? So you know that the kid, I mean, it's inevitable. You can't even go out nowhere. What you say? Thank you for the Holy Spirit and the discernment. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, so because you probably would have had a knot on the back of your head. You know what I'm saying?
The Lord is like, turn around 36 degrees and put your hand up.
Right. Right. But yeah, these kids is out of control. I watched the coverage of when they was downtown, right? Mm-hmm. And they showed them on 31st Street Beach, and they showed the police, the Chicago Police Department surrounded them, right? While they were jumping up and down on the car that they set on fire. Now, from my understanding, what I was told, the cops really couldn't do anything, engage them, because they didn't have any weapons. So they were able to jump up and down on a car that they set on fire. So the police didn't engage. And as they tore up and had fights, and I think 2 people got shot that night, a 12-year-old, I think, and a 14-year-old got shot that day.
That doesn't make any sense to me, because they have done much less. I mean, done far, much more in terms of getting into a situation with far less less known a fire or anything. So I'm surprised that they are trying to make that statement. That doesn't make any sense, because people's lives are in jeopardy because of their
if you go out there and pull it up, pull up the 31st Street Beach incident a couple of weeks ago, and you'll see it. It's out there if they ain't poured it down. I saw the footage of it. I was like, you got to be kidding. You know, and then that was followed up a couple of days later when they went downtown and looted Walgreens, and I mean no care in the world. And I looked at it, you all, the kids that were out there, they look so young. I'm talking, they were young mob action, man. They beat up a couple from Florida that was here, tourists. You know, they go, man, that's a lawsuit.
Well, I think about how what is this the Walmart that got closed on was that 83rd in the
that's supposed to be. Did it close already on Stewart over there across street from my old high school, Simeon?
They closed the one that's in off 83rd near the freeway. They closed that.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's Chatham.
Yeah, the Chatham.
Right across street from my old high school, Simeon.
So they had a police officer up there turning people away, letting them know that it was closed. And I guess what they're trying to attribute it to, which again, business owners and some of these corporations, they choose to do what they choose to do. And they're saying that the level of theft that was taking place at Walmart just made it untenable for them to continue. But that's the price of doing business. I mean, you're going to always have loss prevention for any store. And then the other thing is, because quite honestly, I think some of the loss prevention was with their own employees. Pay your people better.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Give them a living wage. So that,
not only that, you don't want to go to the store. I done worked all day and now I go to the store and now I'm a cashier.
Come on,
man. I mean, you know what I'm saying? You got it. But here's the kicker. They got an employee at the end of every hour. What's the purpose? Let them check me out. You got them standing there watching me. I'm scanning one and throwing one. That's what they were doing. I'm scanning one, I'm throwing one. You know what I'm saying? That's a man. I'm scanning 2 and throwing 3. I mean,
you gotta show your receipt.
Yeah, then you gotta show your receipt. And they be cracking me up too, because they be like, oh, okay. Dang, man, come on, really? You know, I mean, come on, man. I mean, you got to know that people was taking that stuff up out of there. You in the hood, man. You know, but at the end of the day, it is what it is. You are. I mean,
but
unfortunately,
adds to the problems of food deserts and all types of problems.
But I will say this. You all. We better be careful. Our young people better be careful, right? Because what's taking place now is that what we don't know is that there are several companies that's out there right now building robots to do the jobs that we don't want to do, right?
They don't.
And here's the deal. And it starts, Oriental's already bound, right? And during the pandemic,
we probably shouldn't say Orientals, Pastor G. We should say Asian or Asian Pacific community.
Oh, okay, well, I'm gonna just say the owners of A Fusion where I go all the time. Where I go get my Chinese food. So I'm in there, right, during the pandemic, me and my grandbabies, and man, I hear something come out the back with music. It was jammed. I'm like, what the heck? It was a robot. Brought us our food, took the order, and whipped on up out of there. I'll say, see that? And that wasn't the only place that I saw a robot. I saw it in another facility, you all. But I say that to say this. New York has already bought 2 robot dogs already. They went into a fire last week and found some people. Wow. 2 robots, 2 robot dogs, right?
What's that movie?
What you think is on the way?
What's that movie?
They're going to replace the spotted dogs, and they buy. And man, the robot on the way, baby.
Well, he's here. The robot's already here. It's already here. AI, it's here. Because when you call now, you're not talking to a person. Most times you're talking to some sort of
robot,
AI interface. You're not talking to a person. So it's here. But I would be remiss. I want to get this out before we go out tonight.
Hey, Jackie.
I want to mention the the Night of Green event with coffee, hip hop, and mental health. Yeah. So, we always are trying to tell you guys things that are happening out and throughout Chicago. Obviously, we want you to vote on the Stellar Awards for the Internet Radio Station of the Year if you love the content that you're hearing. But what allows us to do some of the things that we're doing is your patronage of these various events that we talk about. So right now I'm talking about the Night of Green that will happen May 24th. Thank you so much. That's going to happen May 24th. It's going to happen at the big Starbucks there on Michigan Avenue, 646, I think North Michigan Avenue, the largest Starbucks there is, I guess, throughout in Chicago, maybe throughout the country. At the Night of Green, it is hosted. It's the first annual Black Tie fundraiser for coffee, hip hop, and mental health. And it is just what it says it is. There's a coffee shop that is based on 1051 West Belmont, and they serve coffee and they play hip hop, and they have mental health Sundays and Tuesdays. They do meditation and all of that to help, in particular, anyone that is in need of help, but in particular, those that are Black and brown, because we know that those communities have been hardest hit with lack of resources. And this is an opportunity to raise funds so that people can get free mental health screenings and just continued mental health care. I think from this fundraiser, they'll be able to open up, because right now I think they're servicing roughly 50 people with care. And as they are transitioning out, they'll be able to bring in another 40 or so people. But y'all know mental health is expensive, right?
Yes.
To provide free services, it takes our community for us to share in this event and be able to raise awareness and raise these funds. So once you go to Eventbrite, just type in coffee, hip hop, and mental health. Go to their website, coffee, hip hop, and mental health. Go on IG, same thing. You'll be able to be directed to and to buy tickets. Now, when you get to the place to buy tickets, don't nobody be frowning, saying, "Oh, that's too much money." What is the price for your mental health? Right? I think tickets start at $100. Right. When you think about what $100 can do to help somebody, maybe not take their life or be able to not, take out their rage and frustration by picking up a gun, it's that $100 is priceless. So that being said, just go out there, go ahead, get your ticket, come donate, come share in the event. And green represents mental health. It represents growth. That's why they chose the color green. So the month of May is Mental Health Awareness Month. So again, that's why they chose that color.
All right. Hey, and we just talked about that 2 weeks ago on our show.
Yeah.
On the Autism Month. That's what it was. We talked about that when we had on Jackie. And also we had Jacqueline on as well, and found out her son has it as well. So we're definitely trying to keep topics that's going on, you all, in today's society, because you all do know that's why we call it the Good News with Elder Miller. We try to enlighten you all to the things that's going on in our lives, and try to be revelatory to what we guys share with you guys. I plan on going to the event. If I can't make the event, I would like to donate, right? So even if you can't make the event, go on there and donate, you all, because this is real. Mental health is real, you all. And we see it on a day-to-day basis. And they done closed so many facilities that the people don't have anywhere to go. And that's one of the main reasons why I think we have a lot of our brothers and sisters that end up homeless, right? And so they're on the street without the resources. So I think that's great what they're doing, because what happens is now, Nash, we need to talk about that a little bit more too. Now, we need to find out if there's grant money that's available that we can probably send, get those resources to them as well, because I'm quite sure it is, Well,
I think that's part of what this fundraiser is to do, is to connect people to, not only just with the funds themselves, but with various resources, so that they can, continue to spread the work. I'll say this: I had the opportunity to attend one of the open sessions, and what I was struck by is that there were quite a few young Black men seeking mental help, mental therapy. And I was just so inspired by that. And these brothers, one young man had lost his grandmother, then he lost his cousin, he lost his brother, and in a span of I don't know, a few months, maybe 6 months. And so when you're dealing with that, even as an older person, that can be a lot. But as a young person, I don't think your brother was quite 26. That's a lot of loss. And when you don't have a support system, or you don't have the right resources, it can really take you out. I think there was a question that just came up. I missed it.
That was Raynard saying he was asking Miss D, sugars and grits, yes or no? And I think she said yes, Raynard. Definitely yes for me. I ain't gonna eat no grits without no sugar. I'm just
let me tell you, I'm an equal equal opportunity grit eater. I eat them with the salt. I eat them with the sugar. I go either way.
I'm not gonna eat it without the sugar.
So I guess y'all eat y'all rice like that too, right?
Yeah. Oh, I got that.
I can do either way.
I'll throw that rice away if I ain't got no sugar on it. Man, I got that, and I'll put a little A1 on there too now. A little owl sauce.
That's why Gerald has so much energy.
Look, I'll put a little A1 sauce on there too now. Hey, Ray, now I'm with you. Tanisha said yes. I'm definitely down for the sugar on the grits now. Come on now.
Okay.
But that's you all. Sharon Hayes, how you doing, big sis? So but you all let people know that we on
light in here.
She talking about some no man. Not sure get my sugar for me.
I'm gonna have to get a new light in here, because as the light goes down, I can't even see me. So I'm gonna get another light.
You sound like this. Look, hey, sis. Miss D got in here. She sat in the one seat. She started kicking up. She said, I can't even see. I had to put in that other chair that you got. Now she's sitting here like this.
I feel like I'm in a high chair.
Jacqueline, my cousin talking about some no sugar on grits or rice. Boo! No sugar.
Well, listen, you all, we have reached that 8 o'clock hour. It is a pleasure, Ms. Dees, that you can't come on the show tonight. Is there anything in terms of your personal social media or ways that people?
It's up there now. He just put it up there again.
Well, actually, I shut my Instagram down because it got hacked. But my Facebook is there, and my YouTube is there.
Okay, y'all hear that? Okay.
Yes.
Yeah,
All right,
man.
well-
You people that don't have nothing better else to do but hack people's pages, man. Shame on you. Shame on you.
Shame.
Because
Shame
man,
of it
boy,
all.
them people be hacking people.
Say it ain't so.
Man, say it ain't so. That's going. You know what? That's gonna be one of the say it ain't so segments, man. For people that be hacking our pages, man.
Oh my
Get a
goodness.
job or something. I
Happy
guess that's what
birthday to our founder, Mr. Franklin
Yeah,
Morris.
Mr. Franklin Morris. Yes,
And
yes.
yes, so and thank you, Ms. Dees. It has been a pleasure. We will see you again, I'm sure. Elder Miller, I'll probably talk to you later tonight. But thank you.
All right, peace and hair grease. Y'all know how we do it. One love.
All right.
Reach one, teach one.
Come on now.
Peace.
Hi, I'm Sandy Rose.
Hi, I'm Reverend Franklin D. Morris Jr.
Hi, I'm Pastor William Q. James, and we are the owners of WVTC Gospel Radio Network.
And I am Ramon Perry, president of WVTC.
Well, with your votes and prayers, WVTC Gospel Radio Network made it to round 2 of the Stellar Gospel Music Awards in the category of Internet Radio Station of the Year. And one last time, we need your vote.
So we need you to go to www.thestellarawards.com and click on the 2023 Radio Station Award ballot.
Once you're on the ballot, look for the category Internet Radio Station of the Year and cast your vote for WVTC Gospel Radio Network, Ramon Perry, president.
Voting is limited to 2 per household, and voting closes on Monday, May 1st.
We thank you for voting for WVTC Gospel Radio Network, and we ask that God's continued blessings upon you and your entire family. Remember, we're WVTC Gospel Radio Network, where
We're winning victory through Christ.